Good evening, everybody, and welcome to round two of Andy B's Charity Bowling, sponsored by Bass Pro Shops Outdoor Fitness Festival. Tonight is the second round final, but it's sponsored by Henry's Towing, and this is the second of 5 round finals. I'm Dan Lucy from Color 10 and KOZL Sports, and this is J.R. Hike, the general manager at Andy B's. And J.R., let's talk a little bit about how these teams got here with this charity bowling.
Well, we had this round two that consisted of 6 weeks of weekly play. The 4-person teams bowl 3 games each week, and they're bowling against another team. And at the end of those 3 games, they also contest 2 Baker matches. And really, what happened here tonight, we have the top 5 teams with the most amount of points from the round.
Over the last 6 weeks, and you've got these guys bowling in a Baker-style step-ladder championship. If you can explain a little bit about that.
Baker style is where you have 4 players on the team, and they each will take a turn alternating frames in the same team game. So it's basically a lot more of a team effort, and the game will go very fast.
And you've got the 2 best bowlers are going to bowl at the beginning and at the end, so you want to try to get your guys lined up that way. And the top seed for this second round final is Isabel's House, corporate sponsored by Bears Sports Grill. Tell me about Isabel's House.
Isabel's House, what we could say was a dynasty last year, was broke up. We had 2 of those team members were part of the Rare Breed, and they have a son, Kyle, that's still on the Rare Breed team. Which is also going to be on the TV show. So we've got Marty and Sue Lewis, husband and wife team, and then we have Jamie and Doyle as well on that team.
So that's Isabel's House. That's the top seed. They're going to be waiting in the wings to see what happens. And then in that championship match, because they're the top seed, if they just win that game, they're the champions for this second round final.
That's right. It's theirs to lose. All they got to do is 1 out of 2 games, and they're the round winner.
Well, let's take a look at the bracket going into the second round final. We talked about it a little bit. The 5th seed is Care to Learn, and they're going to bowl against the 4th seed Ark of the Ozarks. The winner of that game then will bowl against the 3rd seed, the Rare Breed, and then the winner of that game will bowl against the 2nd seed, Cox Health Foundation, and then the winner of that game, as we said, will bowl against the top seed, Isabel's House. So we're getting ready now. It's the 5th seed, Care to Learn, sponsored by Jim's Steakhouse, against the 4th seed, Ark of the Ozarks, sponsored by Henry's Towing. And JR, just these teams also have corporate sponsors which help pay for some of the cost of this, and they're raising money for charity.
That's right. It's been a lot of fun. It's a great way for a business to plug in and get involved in the community. Most businesses have a favorite charity. So they just have their bowling team pick their charity. They pay their sponsorship fee. Half of that sponsor fee goes to a charity prize fund. We also raise some funds through some other charity events as well. But, well, all in all, we'll have $65,000 in total prize money, 30 of that going to charity.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, $65,000 at the end of this. We're going to actually have 5 of these round finals and then the championship match. A lot of money going to charities, and this is the second year for this event.
Second year here at Andy B's. We were called Battlefield Lanes last year, but we're transferring our business into a full-scale entertainment center. So now it's Andy B's Charity League.
And you have construction going on, and we've been here. We come back a month later, and just all the progression that's happened.
This is going to be so much fun when it's done. It's going to be like an indoor playground for us here in the Ozarks. We're open throughout the process. We've got bowling going on, and some of the renovations already been done, but we added on to the front of the building. We're adding on a big game room, a restaurant,
laser tag
downstairs in an abandoned mine we're going to call the Forsaken Mine, and a real exclusive area we call VIB, which is a very important bowler.
And we're thinking, I said before, just think Las Vegas, mix it with some bowling, and that's what you're going to get. And possibly toward the end of this series of round finals, maybe we'll be doing some down in the VIB
I'd love to see a show down there in the VIB lights, and we'd have a lot of fun down there.
Well, JR, the first game is the number 5 seed Care to Learn against the 4th seed Ark of the Ozarks. And we talked about Ark of the Ozarks from last time, the hard luck team. They rolled a 300, nearly rolled back-to-back 300s, but then when it came to the end, they could not win that first round final. They're here looking for their first championship here, and it's the Ark of the Ozarks going up against Care to Learn. And tell me about the handicap going into this, because it's rather substantial in this first game.
Yeah, it is. It's a big differential, and the handicap's based on the overall team average. So depending on how high their team average is, they get handicap against the other. So it's kind of an equalizer to make the teams.
And what you have is Ark of the Ozarks with the highest average of the whole league against one of the lower averages, Care to Learn. So Care to Learn is going to actually start this game 38 pins in front of Ark, and then we'll see what develops from here.
Yeah. We know we'll see a lot of strikes from the Ark of the Ozarks, and Care to Learn. It's all about the way this handicap works. no matter if it's a high or low average, it's all about who shoots more over their team average.
Right.
There's a strike from Care to Learn. That was Jim Nixon with a strike there. He averages 190 in the league.
Casey Murphy up for Arc of the Ozarks.
Casey Murphy, and he is in that number 2 spot, which means that's basically their anchor bowler. He'll bowl 3 frames, including the 10th frame.
They got back-to-back strikes there, but then again, as we said, they're digging out of a 38-pin hole to start with.
Yeah. And we got a left-hander. Nice shot by Eric Schmidt. His first shot on TV. No nerves there, Dan.
Now, and you said that he coaches the juniors here, so.
Yeah, he does, and does a terrific job for us in our youth program out here each and every Saturday morning. And rolled that really nice.
Tell me about that. So on Saturday mornings, you got the juniors out?
Yeah, the junior bowlers come out, and we have coaches out here, and we have them on ages from 5 all the way to 18. And so we have the junior segment that's basically 11 through 18, and then our Bantams. And we coach them, and we have a lot of fun and teach them some fundamentals. And of course, they compete for their own prizes. Yep.
So if anybody's interested, they could just come out.
Definitely, you can jump on in exactly at any time during the season. We have 2 halves. The next one will start in January.
Cool.
But literally, you can bring your kiddo out and they can jump in the league anytime.
Excellent. Well, that's how you just continue to grow the sport, is to have the children going.
Yeah. In fact, this second half, the Andy B's Charity League here is going to be supporting that youth program with $500 in scholarship money.
Oh, excellent.
So out of the funds here from Andy B's Charity League is going to be supporting that youth program a little bit. Oh, that was a great shot in the pocket. Billy leaves a solid 7-pin. And they are hanging right with Arc of the Ozarks. Both teams leave a 7-pin in the 3rd frame. This is Craig Hendrick to convert 7-pin. Does so nicely.
Nice little left-hand turn on that
Yeah.
ball to get in there.
Boy, I am really impressed how Care to Learn has come out just mashing the pocket. Oh, and that's an errant shot there for the spare. But boy, they have really done well these first 3 frames and hitting the pocket hard. Duan Gavel is up for his team. See if he can get him back in the strike zone. And you know, Duan is averaging 215 in this league so far this year, but boy, he can average a whole lot more than that. He struggled a little bit during the first part of the season, so I really expect him to throw the ball well.
215 is pretty good to me.
Yeah, right. Great shot there.
Well, I tell you what.
The other left-hander.
Now, what advantage do these does a left-handed bowler have over a regular right-handed bowler?
Well, you know, us right-handers, we talk about their advantages a lot, but they also have some disadvantages. The lane oil is distributed on the lane width and also all the way down. There's a nice strike by Kevin Williams. But the left-handers have a little bit of advantage because the lane oil, there's not as many left-handers on the left part of the lane.
Right.
So the lane oil just doesn't move much. So they're able to not have to adjust much on the lane.
So what you're saying is that when the ball goes down the lane, it pushes the oil around a little bit, and then that makes the ball kind of slide a little bit on that.
It not only pushes the oil down the lane, but it also soaks up the oil because these balls are, some of them are so porous, they're reactive resin cover stock, and they actually soak up part of the oil, and so it'll dry out. And as you do that, the player has to make adjustments.
Right.
Nice shot by Casey Murphy, leaves the 10-pin, and that is not going to fall. The machine caught it. Just
Come on now.
So we got another 7-pin here for Care to Learn. We've had nothing but 9er strike so far, Dan.
Well, and it looks like, I mean, the door's kind of been open a little bit for Care to Learn, but they've left a couple of open frames too.
Yeah, but that 38-pin league, that's going to be Arc of the Ozarks will have to string some more strikes to get ahead in this match. Right now, it's about even.
Murphy changed balls there to pick up that spare.
Throwing straight.
Yeah, so what are we looking at? It's 114 117 right now? Is that the score?
It is. That is the score.
With the handicap added on?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we're Ark of the Ozarks has kind of cut into that lead, or to that, they gave them a 38-pin lead to start this game with.
Yeah, it looks like Eric missed his target left a little bit, and the ball did not hook up to the head pin. He leaves a washout, and that's going to be tough to pick up. Craig Kendrick up for his team. Very nice shot.
And he picks up, nails that down.
Let's see if Eric can convert. He gives it a nice run, but just gets 3. And it looks like we are standing at an 8-pin lead for Ark of the Ozarks, and that is including the handicap.
Right, right. And and we mentioned at the beginning of this game that their average is 226, the highest average of any of the teams that are bowling. There's 20 teams that bowl in this, only 5 make it to the TV final.
Yeah, they've assembled a great team here. A couple of these players bowl routinely on the weekend. You could call them semi-pros because they do compete for a lot of money on the weekends here in the area and surrounding states. Nice shot there by Dwan Gavel.
So that's back-to-back strikes on the Ark side.
Pretty good looking shot there. Very nice. Good looking strike. Good shot, Billy Williams. And Billy averages 181, but he stuffed it in the pocket both times. He's here to play. We got lots of frames left here. This is an important frame here for Ark of the Ozarks. If they strike here, they can certainly go up by a substantial amount.
And you got Kevin, which does the two-handed and left-handed.
Yeah, there's a lot of revolutions out there. He is chewing up the lane and can really make the pins fly. Kevin works real hard on his game, takes it very seriously, and studies it a lot.
And you mentioned he's one of those guys that goes out on the weekends and then goes into professional tournaments.
He does. He can earn several $1,000s on any given weekend. Same with Casey Murphy. Casey Murphy's a regional staffer for Storm Bowling, so that manufacturer bowling equipment supports him out there, and he represents Storm Bowling.
When they go out, where are they going? What cities?
Well, there's anywhere in a 500-mile radius here, Springfield. On any given weekend, there's a tournament they can go out and win anywhere between $500 to $10,000. Sometimes they'll go down to Texas. Sometimes it's a national tournament. These are not the PBA tournaments, though, that you may see on ESPN. These are technically amateur tournaments, but there's a lot of good players out of these amateur tournaments. And a lot of them are scratch tournaments, so there's no handicap involved.
And these guys are performing their skills here to raise money for local charities in Springfield. That's just fantastic.
Yeah, it's generating, like we said, $30,000 going to these 20 charities. And not only that, it's great for you guys to come out and do this show because it gives these charities some brand recognition.
Right.
And we hope somebody out there learns about Ark of the Ozarks and catches some passion and gets involved.
And they're pulling away. Speaking of Ark of the Ozarks, they're pulling away here in this first game, and looks like they're gonna move on for sure.
They sure are. They locked it out here a couple frames ago and drew it well. Care to Learn was hanging with them for the first half. One red team down. And the next up will be the Rare Breed, sponsored by Guide One Insurance, and this round 2 final sponsored by Henry's Towing.
Care to Learn making their first television round final of this season, and they're finishing up their 10th frame here.
They threw it pretty good, left a washout there right in the middle of the game. That really hurt. But all in all, for those players, is pretty good showing for their first TV final.
And you said that they were in 8th place and last week, and then they were able to battle their way into the TV final.
They were. They snuck up on that last week in the position round and went around the 7th and the 6th and whoever was in 5th, and they ended up the 5th qualifying spot to make this TV show.
So you got to give them some credit for being able to rally that way and to get in here. But the first game tonight in this second round final goes to Ark of the Ozarks, 244 to 185. So Ark of the Ozarks moves on in this second round final.